What was the first song that you actually worked on for this album?
What was the first track we did? That's a good question. I just see him as a block of songs now.
Was it Metroland?
It might have been Metroland.
It was either Metroland or Our System.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Metroland started with Paul getting a new soft synth plug-in and going fiddling with it.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think, knowing Paul, I'll have to ask this, knowing Paul and knowing how he's always so busy and never has time to do anything, probably on the Monday morning when he was on the train coming to Liverpool saying, yeah, I've got this great idea, he was sat there with his laptop going, I need to have an idea. I'll try this new synth.
You're just a week out, but yeah.
And maybe because he was sitting on a train, he got this...
Actually, some of it I did do on the way, on the train.
So, Metroland was one of the first, and conversely, Our System was possibly the first or the second record, and that was, I had an idea. I'd heard the sound of the Voyager spacecraft going through the magnetosphere of Jupiter, and it made this really eerie sound. And I played it to Paul. I said, I've got this idea, can we make this into a piece of music? And he went, yeah, I've got this sound. That's it, song.
It just
sparked chemistry.
Yeah, and then we just built it from there.
And then is it for you then the lyrics, do you write them on the spot when a song is created or afterwards?
Sometimes, but normally later. I do most of the lyrics, and they come from two ways usually. I collect ideas, things I'd like to write and sing about, and I make notes and I research. I'm like a geek, I research. It's like doing an essay for something. Yeah. And then sometimes we'll do music together and I'll go, maybe this will go with that music. Other times, excuse me, we just write the music, and then sometime later I'll go, yeah, it'll inspire me. I will just start singing something.
So for you, then, well, you say research. Is there one song that you had to do many research for?
On this record?
Lyric-wise, yeah?
Metroland.
Yeah, can you explain what did you want to do?
Well, interestingly, I was in London and I had a couple of hours between meetings, and I was in Covent Garden. And I went to the Transport Museum. And I walked into the Transport Museum. It's all about London Underground Railways. And right there's a big poster, Metroland. And I was just like, Metroland, that's a song title. And what it was is the Metropolitan Railway line, the Underground Railway line. Basically, they created this line out of London to Evesham or Amersham, or was it?
Yeah, Amersham.
And then having built the railway, they thought, right, we need some passengers. So they started this advertising campaign. Come and live in Metroland. Leave the smoky city and live in the beautiful countryside with trees and fields. And the campaign was so successful that Metroland became a giant suburb, and then there was no trees and no fields left. And so I did all this research and trying to, because the words, there's so few words in it, it's very, very empty, very simple. So I really had to try and pick, every word had to be really just for a reason. I couldn't sort of have fill-up spaces and just sort of have the last word was the important one. Every word had to, so I cut more than I wrote. I just, no, that's not going to work. But yeah, there was a lot of research in that one.
What is for you the underlying theme of the album then? You also say, well, the album title has been explained, but for you the underlying theme, music-wise and lyric-wise? I
think it's that exploring it's exploring what the future looked like from the past and did it arrive, and also the interaction of humans and machinery and technology and how that has played out in the modern world. In 2 sentences, that's it.
And how did it play out?
Exactly like we sang about on the album.
Oh.
Yeah. But you'll have to buy the album to know.
Okay. There are certain short songs. Please remain seated. Decimal and Atomic Range, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's
Are
for
more
you?
sort of experimental pieces. Yeah.
Did you do this on purpose? Of course you did it, but why? How come?
It was about the conceptual elements.
Yeah.
I mean, our system is a very conceptual song, and it has all these amazing sounds from NASA,
Yeah.
but I'm singing on it. These other pieces, you know, it was important that we went back to our own early ethos of like, we don't have to follow the rules. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to have conventional instruments. I don't have to sing on it.
Yeah, not every song we have to have singing, and we discovered that you know, it was quite interesting and quite powerful to have the sort of narrative of the song spoken by a machine, really. And we discovered all these websites that you can go to, which are like text to speech, and you can just type in anything, and the website will speak it back at you, and you can choose the voices. And so we discovered all of this, and we found it really quite interesting and slightly disturbing, this sort of computer voice sort of talking the narrative of the song.
Last few questions. What do you still want to achieve, or maybe in the songwriting, or maybe commercial success, or are there
Well,
certain
we don't
things?
think in terms of commercial success anymore, because it's almost impossible to have it in this climate.
Yeah.
But I think as long as we believe that if we're still excited about what we do, and we've still got something to say, then I think we'll just keep saying it for as long as that lasts.
Last question. Did you have to buy back half of the name, OMD name?
Nah.
What did you do? Because
Andy still owns it, technically. It's still his band.
Okay.
I'm just kind of moonlighting in it.
He has to carry the bags when we're on tour.
Okay. Thank you for your time.